Imagine walking out to a roar created by a billion people, all expecting you to win. In Indian cricket, that noise isn't just background, it's an environmental pressure that shapes every decision made on the field. We've seen this intensity break some of the most gifted athletes in history. The weight of carrying a nation's hopes can turn a minor technical error into a mental collapse. Mahendra Singh Dhoni is the anomaly. He stepped into this chaos and remained entirely unaffected by the noise around him. His prime was defined by massive victories and roaring stadiums. Yet his career ended with a quiet runout and a low-key retirement in 2020 that felt as stoic as his captaincy. To understand his success, we have to look past the trophies and examine the specific psychological traits that allowed him to thrive where others cracked. That mental resilience was built in the railway town of Kharagpur long before the world knew his name. As a ticket collector, his daily life was a grind of crowded platforms and passenger disputes. It was an environment that demanded a steady, patient work ethic, regardless of the heat or the crowds. But the real shift in his mindset came from a personal tragedy, the sudden loss of a close friend. Facing a loss of that scale forced him to develop an emotional distance from his immediate surroundings. He learned how to keep moving forward, even when things were falling apart around him. By the time he reached the international stage, he had already faced a loss so significant that the outcome of a cricket match simply couldn't rattle him. He arrived with a built-in barrier against both sudden fame and public failure. His physical skills didn't start with a cricket bat. He was a football goalkeeper first, relying on explosive lateral reflexes needed to guard a goal. When he moved to cricket, those same reflexes made him a natural wicketkeeper. From that position, he discovered he had a literal advantage over every other player on the field. The wicketkeeper is the only person on the pitch with a complete 360-degree view. He used this vantage point to calculate the trajectory of every delivery and adjust fielders in real time, often before the ball reached the batter. This physical placement behind the stumps provided a constant stream of data that other captains simply couldn't access, giving him a clearer view of the match's geometry. This tactical edge led to the unexpected 2007 T20 World Cup win, where he guided a young squad through high-stakes finishes that would have overwhelmed a less composed leader. It reached its peak in 2011, when he managed the immense pressure of a home World Cup to secure the championship. But his resilience was tested most severely off the field, during the IPL spot-fixing scandal. The team was surrounded by a media frenzy, with institutional pressures threatening the future of his franchise. Dhoni used his cultivated emotional distance to absorb the chaos. He acted as a buffer, keeping the external scandal away from his players so they could stay focused on their performance. The Captain Cool persona was a calculated defensive strategy, one he used to protect his team's focus when the sport itself was in turmoil. When he finally walked away in 2020, it was after a career spent managing the heaviest expectations in the sporting world. Seeing him humanized by his final defeat revealed the sheer energy it took to remain the anchor for a nation's hopes for over a decade. He set a new standard for leadership in India, showing that the most effective way to handle national pressure is to maintain an internal stillness that the crowd can't reach. His path from a railway station in Kharagpur to the top of the cricketing world proves that composure is often the most valuable skill a person can possess.